Hey guys, welcome to J Powell Music. Of course, you can definitely subscribe to the channel if you'd like to, and like the video so it goes around the internet. There's a huge story that I missed around all of this, and when I say all of this, I mean regarding to Emily Armstrong, who is the new lead singer for the Linkin Park band. Cedric Bixler actually had something to say regarding to that. Directly towards Emily Robinson, and this is from Rolling Stone magazine. It says here on the headline, Cedric Bixler Zavala slams Linkin Park's Emily Armstrong over alleged Danny Masterson support. Saying in the quotes, do your fans know your friend Danny Masterson, your rapist friend? Mars Volta musician wrote highlighting her ties to Scientology. So there's kind of a deep dive background here regarding to Cedric Bixler, his wife, and when it comes to Scientology, and then her connection, and her meeting Emily Armstrong's connection to Scientology. Continues on, says, Cedric Bixler Zavala's wife, Chrissy Carnell Bixler, was one of the several women who accused Masterson of sexual assault. While the actor was not convicted on charges tied to her allegations, he was found guilty on charges brought by two other Jane Doe accusers. Carnell Bixler is also part of a civil suit against Masterson, who was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. Bixler Zavala and Carnell Bixler are also both former Scientologists, and they've long accused the Church of Scientology of harassing them over their pursuit of justice against Masterson, a prominent Scientologist himself. Armstrong has ties to Scientology too. There's a photo of her and Bixler Zavala at a Scientology celebrated century in 2013 for a gala celebrating the church's 44th anniversary. And in 2020, Armstrong showed up to the courthouse ostensibly to support Masterson during his trial, via journalist watchdog Tony Ortega claims. It says last year, Bishop Zavala left a comment on Dead Sarah's Instagram page, which he screen grabbed and reposted on his stories following the announcement that she joined Linkin Park. It appears that Bishop Zavala has since deleted the story, but it's still up on the Carnell Bixler stories. Says in quote, one of the things he says, I'm surprised none of you remember or none of you wrote the letter on Danny Masterson's behalf, since your corny ass singer showed up to support him in the prelims, Bixler Zavala said. Remember, Emily? Remember how your fellow Scientologist goon squad surrounded one of the Jane Does when she was trying to leave the elevators? Question mark. The court sheriffs had to escort her away from your awful cult. How do you reconcile the homophobia found in the teachings of L. Ron Hubbard book, Dianetics? Question mark. A rep for Linkin Park and Armstrong did not immediately return Rolling Stone's request for comment. In a story of her own, Carnell Bixler called Armstrong a hardcore Scientologist who supported convicted serial rapists both in and out of court, referring to Masterson, although not mentioning him by name. Emily Armstrong is a true believer of the Scientology cult criminal organization that engages in human and child trafficking and child and elder abuse, the cover-ups of countless sexual assaults on children and adults, end quote. The church has faced numerous trafficking and abuse claims over the years, which it has denied. Wow, that is crazy. That is really nuts. And that kind of changes, I mean, it kind of changes definitely changes kind of the look of everything, right? I had no idea this person was connected to Scientology. I was just like, oh, we have a new singer from a different band. She sounds great. That's awesome. I didn't know the connection in general. That's pretty wild. And I wonder if this will change the band's, creative decisions going forward, or will they just say, well, whatever, or they say, hey, it's not, we don't make a band based off people's personal beliefs or whatever the case may be. They could very well do that. But I will say, being connected to something like Scientology, which has had numerous allegations of, what was said here in the Rolling Stone article. Pretty wild stuff, I will say, definitely. There's another article that I found interesting too, that described a little bit of information regarding to, I guess, the connection of Mars Volta and how it ties back into this. This is from metalsucks.com. I will quote, I don't think metal sucks. That's just what the article, or that's what the website's called. So it says here in quote, this is Savala's wife, Big Sur Savala's wife talking. Says, my husband toured with Soundgarden many times. I'll never forget Chris Cornell telling a packed stadium that the Mars Volta was his favorite band. Chester Bennington and Linkin Park would always play at the drive-in songs before going out on stage. Chester was a child as a survivor. Chester and Chris had a beautiful bond, and I'm told shared a common goal to fight human and child trafficking. Scientology is a human and child trafficking organization protected by a 501c3 granted under the Clinton administration. Linkin Park just replaced Chester with a hardcore second generation Scientologist. Rest in peace. So that also is a powerful connection too, because if Chester was had a huge his one of his fights, or as an advocate or what have you, philanthropist, what have you, against those things, and then you have the lead singer who is the opposite of that. That does ring questions, right? That does ring questions, and that could also ring questions in the future for many other types of performances, right? So think about this. Like, we had Travis Scott fans, right? This is just kind of a hypothetical sense of how maybe might be an issue for the band and how they may have to reconsider or what have you. But just think about this mindset. Travis Scott, for example, right? He had those concerts. There's a lot of weird satanic supposed sacrifices or whatever in the crowd. Many people died, and Travis Scott was to blame for some reason that he's supposed to see through 50,000 people, I guess. But my point is that weird stuff was around his fans. And listening to Travis Scott's music, I can't really tell if there's a specific message there. But imagine, and I don't know if he has ties to anything weird that could propose something like that. We just don't know. It's just something weird from some type of cult, or weird things happen within that crowd. That's all we really know. But imagine if you have someone like Emily Armstrong, who is a Scientologist and connected to this. What does this mean? What does this mean for the future? What does this mean for future performances and bands and whatnot? This could be a big thing and something to definitely think about. And we'll have to see what happens, because this happened on the 6th as far as this article dropping. So anyway, J Powell Music. I will catch you guys next week.